Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Starting a few minutes late here. Apologies for that. Just wrapping up dinner. Also wait for people to come in a little bit, because this one's going to involve a little more chat interaction here. Oh, Neto, you're here. Nice. Very nice, Neto. Good to see you loud in chat. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I figured I would start a little later than usual anyways, because if you were going to be late tonight. Good to be here. Oh, how's it going? X Freeman, right? Right? I'm sorry if that's not you. I'm trying to remember. If that is you, then we're here for the debate. And we're all good. That is you. Okay, thank you. Just, I thought so. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, okay, cool. Very nice. Well, we have the crew here, so I'd say let's get started here. And once again, feel free, if you're jumping into the chat, feel free to debate with us as well. But we're going to jump right in here. Good to see you all live in chat. Hope you're doing well. I'm Mega Amster. Thank you for watching. Whether you are live in chat, not in chat, or watching the VOD after the fact, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. We are back here with part 2 of debating the 20 most influential video games of all time. So recap for what this is. Essentially, this is a list of, gonna be a list of 20. Right now it's 70. It's gonna be 20 games that have been very influential to the gaming industry. So not necessarily mainstream, although sometimes that overlaps, but not necessarily. It's also not the 20 best games of all time. This is influential to the video game industry and further games that came after it. Although there definitely will be some overlap with some quality here. Why did title just break? Hate when it does that. All right, there we go. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna get into here. So yeah, last time we compiled a list of about 120 games, I want to say it was, and we have then narrowed it down to 70 that you see here. Eventually, we want to get this to where there's no more than one game per series. We're limiting it to that. Otherwise, you know, it's kind of fair game. So, turn that music a little bit. 70 games. We have 50 to cut, which is a lot. Unfortunately, I did not prepare for this. So, coming in fresh. Okay, Neto, we're starting with that. I want to direct all of your attention to a poll that I've had up on my channel since that first part 1 stream. I want to pull this up for you. Is Donkey Kong Arcade game a Mario game or Donkey Kong game? Most votes were just for Donkey Kong. We've had how many? 8 votes. Half of those were Donkey Kong. The other 3 were both. And then one that said just Mario. Neto, is that you? I will get political if I need. So here's the thing. Based on these results from the masses, and by the masses I mean 8 people, not including myself, the Donkey Kong Arcade game is at least a Donkey Kong game. At least. Alone, it is not a Mario game only. We could argue that it's both. But we can at least agree that it is at least a Donkey Kong game. Well, here's the thing. Is that Mario or is that Jumpman? We know they're the same person, technically. But is that actually Mario? He wasn't named Mario at the time. Not until 5 years later. No. 1 year later with the Mario Brothers arcade game. Pauline was in later Mario games, for sure. But Donkey Kong's also in later Mario games. Yoshi's also in later Mario games, so that doesn't really have an impact on it. My point still stands about it being at least a Donkey Kong game. It is not a Mario-only game. The real question is, if we consider it both Mario and Donkey Kong, if it's considered both a Mario and a Donkey Kong game, is it cheating to include it and Mario 64? And I know Neto says yes. You're going by the name? I mean, that's true. That's very true, because the new canon, that's true. It's a Cranky Kong game. Okay, well, if it's a Cranky Kong game, then we can include it. Here's the thing. I think I really want to get some of the easier ones out of the way first, because I feel like this is a discussion we can keep having, but I think it's going to be down to like the last 10 games. I think this is one of those. I mean, I don't want this to just be my list. I want this to be the community's list. Super Mario 64 was a landmark in a different way. For sure, each was a landmark. Okay, let me start off with all of you by saying what I personally think are going to be locks for this list. Let's settle this first. I do think Breath of the Wild's a lock, which to me means we should get rid of NES Zelda, but if anyone has any hesitations, let me know. I also think Mario 64 is a lock. Even if Donkey Kong is considered a Mario game, I think Mario 64 is a lock. I think Street Fighter 2 is a lock. I think Resident Evil 4 is a lock. I think Dark Souls is a lock. I think Metal Gear Solid is a lock. I personally think Castlevania Symphony of the Night's a lock, and I know that's going to be a discussion. I also think World of Warcraft's a lock. I think Fortnite's a lock. Those 9 I am very confident about. I'm just going to throw those out there. You cheat in a different way. Okay, okay. How do we feel about those 9? How do we feel about those 9? Starting from Breath of the Wild all the way to Fortnite. The first 5 are on your list? Okay. Yeah, for sure. I would. These 5 for sure. WoW is on your list? Okay. I'll move WoW up then. What about... I know Symphony of the Night's not. Is Fortnite on your list? How would Breath of the Wild change the game? Yeah, because I know X Freeman, you were the one arguing for NES Zelda, right? I mean, Zelda is like the poster child for open world games right now. Not the first to do it, but after Zelda, like, everybody did it. This was the one that made the survival elements, the climbing, the crafting, the food cooking. Not the first one to do it, but like we said, it doesn't have to be the first one. It's what sticks in the industry. Fortnite's not. Okay. You'll need to cut some more stuff to get to your reason. Yeah. So anyways, I'm just going to put those up there for now. Oh, Doom. I'm going to put Doom up here. There we go. If I put Doom up here, then these two can line up so we can look at both of these together. I think those right now are my personal 10, and I'm willing to... those aren't like... Those are my personal locks, but I'm willing to debate those ones. I think those are going to be some of the last ones we debate. Can I do a big shot? Throw it out there, Neto. What you got? Because I have a few things to pick here. The other thing I want to remind everybody is that we have 2 Zelda games, arguably 2 Mario games, depending on how you look at it. We have 3 Metroid games, so some of those got to go. Every FPS except Doom and Halo. All right, let me line those up. So you're saying Quake. Halo is also, I think, on my list as a lock, potentially. What are the other FPSs? COD? Are you including Metroid Prime in that list? I assume you're including Half-Life. There's 2 CODs? There shouldn't be 2 CODs. This is just Modern Warfare 2. That's the only COD. Are we talking Gears of War? 'Cause that's a third person, right? Or is that first person? I actually don't know. If there are 2 CODs, that was a mistake on my end. Is an FPS kinda? Okay, so you're including Portal in there? Are you saying Half-Life's not included in this list, or what? Prime's down on your list, I'll put Prime up here. So you're saying cut every FPS except Doom and Halo. Doom, I agree with you. Halo, I'm also tempted to agree with you. Let me move this up here to be... I'm going to move Halo right here. Half-Life's not on the list. Okay. Okay. I mean, let's talk about these, right? We have Doom and Halo. I could see why both of those would be here. We have Quake. We have COD Modern Warfare 2. And we're including Half-Life in this discussion. Portal and Halo and... Oh, is Left 4 Dead also on the list? All right. I'll be honest. Okay. I'm ready to cut one right now. We can cut Left 4 Dead 2. I know we had this argument last stream. I thought about it after the stream, Neto. We can cut Left 4 Dead 2. Any arguments against cutting Left 4 Dead 2? Doom is the primary FPS, Halo's the modern FPS? Gotcha. Yeah. Not from you, X-Freeman? Okay. Am I missing any other FPSs here? I don't think so, right? Neto, I assume you're good cutting Left 4 Dead 2, right? I think we can gut it. I don't think it makes it this far. I'm going to assume you're good, because that would have been included there. Alright, let's get it. Okay, Left 4 Dead 2's gone. Halo and WoW, the games have changed how online works. True, because Halo was big for online. That's another reason for Halo to be there. Fortnite and WoW are big, they don't need to be there. Are you saying... Wait, I'm confused. Are you saying... Oh, League of Legends. Okay, sorry. I see what you mean. Okay. Well, because here's the thing. What is League of Legends considered? Is that considered a MOBA? No worries. Hey, Neil the BC fan. Good to see you live in chat. Hope you're doing well. Is League of Legends considered a MOBA? Because... I mean, there are some MOBAs out there, but they're not... So here's the thing I was thinking about prior to the stream. I think we need to cut games that are very niche genres. So, like, for example, LoL's a MOBA that was born on Warcraft. Is Warcraft not an MMORPG? Because I get those mixed up all the time. Listen, I'm willing to cut League of Legends. League of Legends has had a bad impact on gamers' mental health. But has it had an impact on the industry? The gaming industry? I mean, I guess there's Pokemon Unite took inspiration from League of Legends, right? Dota 2 existed before League of Legends, and we're not including that on this list. So maybe we cut League. I'm willing to cut it. X-Freeman, what say you? What say you, good sir? Anybody else in chat too? Feel free to chime in. Neil the BC fan, anybody else? Feel free to chime in. Oh, Dota's a mod on Warcraft? Oh, I don't think I realized that. Yeah, let's cut League of Legends instead. Alright. Alright. So here's the thing. Okay, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out about... I'm trying to figure out about GoldenEye, because GoldenEye was big for N64 multiplayer, but I'm trying to think if it's like... You know what I mean? I'm trying to think if it's like really... Because here's the thing, to your point, Neto, like, Halo was massive multiplayer. I mean... Is it fair to say that Halo was bigger multiplayer than GoldenEye? The most impactful maybe was the remake. GoldenEye? Yeah. Yeah, I'm tempted to cut it. I mean, I know it was one of, like... GoldenEye's a big deal, but it was, like, a big deal for N64 multiplayer. Halo really was the one, for many reasons, like you listed, Neto. Quake, GoldenEye, Metro Prime. Alright, I'm cutting GoldenEye then. I'm okay cutting Quake. I think Quake and Halo are a little more aligned, but I think Halo was really like, yeah, Quake, you have the arena shooter stuff, sure, but Halo really cemented the online multiplayer. Like, that was the big one. Quake might have done it first, but Halo was the one that really took off. So I am tempted. I am fine cutting Quake to keep Halo. Any objections? X Freeman, anybody else in live chat? Especially because we have Doom here. Halo is best for modern FPS. It's true. All right. Cut and Quake. Oh, okay. Neto, I'm not safe cutting COD yet. I'm honestly not. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to leave Half-Life for now. And Portal. I want to talk about Metroid a little bit because we have 3 Metroid games on this list. You will be, don't worry. It's very possible. I think for now, I'm not ready to cut it. So I want to talk about Metroid. We got to cut at least one of these games right now. We have Metroid Prime, we have Super, and we have NES. Between those 3, Neto, it sounds like you... Hot take? Sure. Hot take. Let's do it. Do you not have any Metroid games on this list? Super Metroid had the biggest impact. I think I agree. You cut all of them? Okay. I could see the argument for that. I think... So here's the thing, because I would cut all of 3 of those to keep Castlevania Symphony of the Night on this list. Personally. But we can keep one Metroid game for now and revisit that near the end. I do think I agree. True. Symphony of the Night's the one that made that a genre, or made it like an officially named genre. Right, for sure. But you also, part of that is Super, and you cut. Yeah, see, I don't agree with that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. One of those games is going to be on the list. Use shoulder buttons. Oh, interesting. I do agree with X Freeman, though, that if we're going to keep any Metroid game for now, it's going to be Super. Neto, do you have any argument against that? I think that probably is the one to keep. The NES game, sure, established it, but like we said, it didn't perfect it. It had some limitations. And also, you could argue NES Zelda did more than NES Metroid did in terms of that action-adventure exploration genre kind of thing. Metroid Prime was tempting, but I feel like there's too much overlap with that in Halo. I know it's an FPS narrative, but if we're going to keep any FPS narrative game, I think Half-Life is the better choice. So I'm willing to cut both Metroid Prime and the NES Metroid. I mean, true, but I don't think we're talking about the impact of the character or the name. I think we're talking about the impact of on the genre, which Super Metroid did have. So I think we should cut Neto. If you were to keep one of those, does it make sense to keep Super over both Prime and the NES game? Because I think that's what I'm gonna cut Prime and NES if we're in alignment here. I totally agree with your sentiment about Samus as a character, though. Oh, is it really? That's funny. Alright, if there's no objections, I'm going to cut both Metroid Prime and the original NES Metroid. I also do want to mention that Metroid was one of the first prominent instances of a female protagonist. And not that that had an impact on some, like, it probably not as widespread of an impact as we would have liked, but it's a thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just putting that out there as another fact. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut both Prime and NES Metroid. I assume no objections with that. I mean, Neto cut all 3, so we're cutting them both. For now, if we're going to keep any, it's going to be Super. All right. Neto, defend It Takes Two for me again. I'm sorry. I'm ready to gut It Takes Two. I don't think it belongs here. Defend the industry impact that It Takes Two has had on the whole industry. Just defend that. I'm willing to listen. It's going to take a lot for me not to gut it, but I'm willing to listen. Exactly the point I'm getting at X-Freeman. And like we said, it doesn't have to be the first to do it, but what games besides other Haze-like games and the one Orbitals game has that had an impact on? Oh, that's funny. They called it a Metroidvania as a joke because they were like, this is a real Castlevania game. Lo and behold, it was a big deal. So they clearly made every choice. You can't defend for someone who hasn't played it. True. Can I ask another question for you? Is it on your list of top 20? I can't. Kinda. It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. There's no kinda. Unless, oh, sorry, that might have been reference to something else. Just the timing of that was very funny. Is that your cheating? No, we're cutting it. We're cutting it. We're cutting it. X-Freeman, what are your thoughts on It Takes Two? You cheated, but it's on your list. There are many more impactful games. I mean, think about it. Right here in this graphic, it's only these first two rows at the top here that could be filled. Nothing else. So I think we have to gut It Takes Two. X-Freeman, what are your thoughts? Anybody else? Let me know your thoughts. It's not on your list, and you kind of cheated to include it. I'm ready to cut it if X-Freeman's on board. You agree? All right, we're gutting it. Sorry, Neto. There's got to be some pain here. I just personally don't agree with that. All right. I want to bring up... Shout out to the Hi-Fi Rush soundtrack. All right. I want to talk about a few different games here. I want to talk about Minecraft, Stardew Valley, and Harvest Moon. Here's the thing. I think we should probably gut Harvest Moon. I was just thinking because there's a lot of cozy farming games. You think the only way you can grab is every co-op game after you played it, It Takes Two feels like shit. That's fair. I mean, that's fair. You know, clearly it does co-op very well. But then again, did any games besides Haze-like games improve their co-op after It Takes Two? Can we argue that? I don't know if we can. Yeah, even though Harvest Moon was like one of the big first notable like farming sim cozy games. Even the original, that's true, because the original IP holders are now. There's the Story of Seasons, which is the true Harvest Moon. I think we should cut Harvest Moon. Stardew Valley is a fusion of Minecraft and Harvest Moon. So X-Freeman, you're arguing. Because yeah, I mean, then the topic comes: do we even include Stardew Valley? But it sounds like are we all good to cut Harvest Moon? Because I will cut Harvest Moon right now. Nobody can do it like them. Same with Breath of the Wild. All the games I'm just trying. Only Nintendo can make it. Only Nintendo can make what? It Takes Two? And Nintendo did not make It Takes Two. That was Hazelight. That's EA. Oh, sorry. You're saying, okay, sorry. I am confused. I see. You're talking about Breath of the Wild. I see. Cutting it? All right. We're all in favor of cutting it. Harvest Moon goes. Isn't Ubisoft the game? I mean, that's the thing, right? That's why we're like... That's the discussion to be had with Zelda, right? Is that, yeah, Ubisoft had done open world games like Far Cry and all those before this. But yeah, only Nintendo could make that style of game. Exactly. Sorry for the misunderstanding with the other stuff I mentioned there, though. I got confused. What you were saying. Okay. I feel good about gutting Harvest Moon. Okay, can we talk about Undertale? I think Undertale is a game that falls under the mainstream impact, but not the industry impact. But what does everybody in chat think? Because here's the thing. We've got other RPGs on this list. We've got Final Fantasy VII, and we've got Dragon Quest III, and Undertale. And in my opinion, if we only keep one of those, it's Dragon Quest III. But I'm willing to have this debate. What did Toby Fox do? Now, here's my thing. Mainstream impact, like the previous Pope listened to Undertale music played live in concert, sure. But we're talking about gaming industry here. And it is an indie darling. It's an indie success. That is the one hesitation I have. Along with Stardew Valley, arguably Minecraft, but they were bought up by Xbox. That's a whole thing. But see, X-Freeman, that's the point. It's a one-of-a-kind experience. No other games besides Deltarune picked up what it was doing. Like, I personally don't think we have more turn-based RPGs because of Undertale. We have an indie success unless that's not Undertale. And what do you think that is? Stardew Valley? Or, I mean, arguably Minecraft? What do you... Among Us? I forgot about Among Us right there. Minecraft? Okay. And Hades. I don't think... I don't know. I don't think it makes sense to have Undertale on this list personally. The only criteria would be for indie success, but that is not the only case. That is, like, far from it. The most successful indie success, technically, like you said, is Minecraft Net. But not that it's indie anymore, but it was when it first came out. Good to see live chat, I should say. Hope you're doing well. No FNAF on this list, actually. You know, that's something that I thought about. But, like, FNAF is a big mainstream deal. But was it? I don't know. Anyways, Ocean Slayer, the way this is working is we are locked to these games we have now, so we can't add games anymore. That was already done in part 1. We have to cut this to 20 games is what we're doing now. Listen, if we're ready to have the discussion, I think we should cut Undertale. You're right, X-Freeman, it's a very unique experience, but I think that's the thing. It's very much its own experience. Loosely inspired by Earthbound in the Mother series. Did it have impact on the industry? I don't know if we can say it has. Unless we're representing indie games, but then to Neto's point, it's Minecraft. Right. Right, but that doesn't mean it's on the list. Oh, that's what you're saying? Undertale's the worst RPG on this list. Have you played it? Alright, regardless, I think we're in favor to cut Undertale. Okay. So it sounds like X-Treme, and you're saying to cut it because it was one of a time experience. Okay. And Neto's saying cut it. Alright, we're cutting it then. Sorry, Undertale. Okay. Minecraft is going to make it to the top 30, no doubt. Okay, cool. Neto, we gotta talk Hollow Knight. I agree. I completely agree with you. X-Freeman, yes. That's why I'm tempted to say Symphony Knight's a lock for this list. You won't shut up about it. Yeah, so Ocean Slayer, the way, yeah, so it's a little confusing, so let me clarify a little bit. These are the most influential games in terms of gaming industry impact. So games that had an impact on the entire development industry. We're not talking about the best games. We're not talking about the most mainstream games. We're talking about games that had a huge impact on the game industry. Essentially, think games that started trends or perfected trends or, stuff like that. Right. So that's the thing. But is Ys influential? Like, I don't know. I don't know what impact Ys had on the industry. I just don't know Ys that well. Yeah, here's the thing. We've got these 3 Metroidvanias right here. I don't think Hollow Knight makes this list. I really don't. I think we have to gut Hollow Knight. This Metroidvania. Oh, the first action RPG? Really? Oh, interesting. It's often cited. But here's the other thing we've talked about so far, Ocean Slayer, since you've been here. Or since you haven't been here, I should say. Sorry. Just if a game is the first to do it, that doesn't mean it's on this list. It really comes down to what's recognized as like the go-to in the industry. So for action RPGs, I don't know, what would that be? Like Tales of Symphonia? Maybe earlier than that. I don't know. But anyways, that's kind of how we're going about this list. Not just making these up, gotcha. But then again, no, this isn't... Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the tough thing. Sure, Hollow Knight may be a great Metroidvania, like a perfect Metroidvania, arguably. Was everybody making Metroidvanias because of Hollow Knight? No. Everybody... Indies, maybe. Everybody was making Metroidvanias because of Symphony of the Night. That is the one. So I do think if we have one Metroidvania on this list, it is Symphony of the Night. If we have 2... It's a 2D platformer with different means of exploration and items. Permanent items called upgrades. So I get that. So I get that reasoning for sure. But I think... Alright, well let me pose this question to everybody here. Do we cut both Hollow Knight and Super Metroid? Or is that too much? You did cut Tekken? Okay. That's a discussion we can have going into it. I personally am going to leave Symphony of the Night. I cannot cut Symphony of the Night right now. That is going to be, if it gets cut, one of the last ones that we cut. The map made a difference? Okay. Okay. We're not ready to cut Super yet, but I'm going to cut Hollow Knight. Yeah, no worries. No worries, Ocean Slayer. You are for sure allowed to ask questions here. We appreciate new people in here because like it might help us take a look at the thing. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm cutting Hollow Knight. Neto said he technically cut it in his list. Extreme agrees. We're doing it. Sorry, Neto. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm targeting you with these, Neto. Yeah. All right. Let's have the Guitar Hero discussion. Specifically 2. So here's the thing, Ocean Slayer. 3 was the most popular, or one of. 3 perfected it. I was having this argument with my IRL friend the other day. But 2 is, I think, the breakout hit. 2 is the one that solidified and perfected the formula. 3 was even better. 3 is the better game. But like we said earlier, this is not about the best games. This is about the ones that had the biggest impact. But here's the other thing I'm willing to argue here. I think we should cut Guitar Hero altogether because rhythm games are a niche genre. Sure, we had a bunch of classic things in terms of industry like impact in terms of making classic guitars. Sure, but I think we talked about this last stream. It's a bit of a fad. Has not stuck. It had its time, but we don't have to cut it now. But I do think we should discuss cutting it at some point. From what I remember, I was the one defending Guitar Hero, so definitely correct me if I'm wrong about that. But I think maybe we should cut Guitar Hero altogether. I'm throwing that out there. Does anybody have any thoughts on cutting Guitar Hero, not representing rhythm games at all? Oh, that's true. Honestly, I forgot about Just Dance. You're right. That's a good point, Neto. That's a good point, because that, yeah, that's a very good point. Which one came out first? It had to be Wii Sports, right? Because it literally launched with the Wii. But Guitar Hero 2 wasn't shortly after. But yeah, to your point, Wii Sports does represent that kind of peripheral. Wii Sports is peripheral the game, for sure. So that negates my argument with the plastic guys. All right, listen, I'm willing to cut Guitar Hero just because we don't have to represent every single genre here. That's what I don't want to get. I don't want to fall into that pit with this list, because here's the thing: some genres are way more prolific than others. Open world games, FPSs, Souls-like games, like those are platformers. Those are all more prolific. Rhythm games are one of the nichest genres, and that's why I don't think we need to represent that on this list. Oh, Guitar Hero's before, wow. Yeah, exactly, and Wii Sports is, yeah, the champion family gaming, for sure. Which is why I think it's going to be, if it gets cut, one of the last ones to cut. It might not. Is anyone opposed to cutting Guitar Hero 2? Wii Sports is a sports game, there you go. Oh, that's true. I felt bad about not getting the sports game. Any objections to cutting Guitar Hero 2? I know X Freeman says no objections. It's a fact. It was a big part of the industry for maybe 5 years. No objections. A VR controller. That's an interesting perspective. I never thought about that. Of having the Wii remotes be virtual, like VR. What kind of? Controllers you could hold in a single hand, yeah. Alright, Neto, no objections, right? Alright, we're kind of. I think I was going to say, I thought I was the main one defending it last time anyways. I'm going to cut Ninja Gaiden. Any objections? Right. No, for sure. No, it makes sense. I just never connected it. Because the move was pretty much copying Wii remotes. And then, that's a good point. Any objections to cutting Ninja Gaiden? Okay, I was gonna... cutting Ninja Gaiden. I was thinking about Contra. Contra's like a run and gun. Oh no, Monkey Island we will talk about. I'm not ready to cut Monkey Island yet. Okay, Contra, yeah. I agree with Contra. We can cut that. Any objections to cutting Contra? Right. Right. Gotcha, Ocean Slayer. What point-and-click game would you have included, just out of curiosity? Alright, I'm gonna cut Contra. I'm gonna cut it. Boom. Contra's gone. Okay. Do we want to visit that discussion? Alright, let's do it. Let me consolidate first. I need to see how we're doing. I know we're not at the 20 yet. You'd think with all these empty spaces that it's going to be easy. I assure you, it is not going to be easy. Oh, King's Quest or Space Quest. Gotcha. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, honestly, and that is the fault with a list like this, Ocean Slayer, is that this is coming down to our collective knowledge base of games, which you weren't on the first stream, so it makes, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, oh, we can cut out a whole row. Hell yeah. Bottom of the top. Oh, you're right. That would have been easier. My bad. All right, let me get rid of a row here. Boom. Look at that. Okay. We're at 67 games right now. But I'll do that for next time, Metal. Okay. I just want to cut one that really feels out of place here. Well, I have a couple, actually. Can we talk about Star Fox? We might not be ready to cut it yet, but I think we should cut Star Fox. Right. I mean, that's the thing, Ocean Slayer. Right. That's the fallible part about a list like this. Is it's down to our knowledge. So here's the thing. X Freeman, I know you were arguing heavily for Star Fox last time, and I want to discuss what that was. Was it because of the graphics? Because I know we were cutting games because of graphics. Here's my thing. Has Star Fox, gameplay-wise, influenced a lot of games? We don't... First of all, it's not the shmup inspiration. We have other... Arguably, that's Space Invaders. Not that it has to be the first one. But... I'm also just, like, trying to think of, like, we have other shooters. And so it feels, to me, out of place. But then again... The on-rail shooter? Sure. But how many on-rail shooters do we have? I think that's kind of my point. We have to remember, like, a lot of this list will be a lot of predominant, like, gaming genres now because of industry impact, right? My other argument is that we cut games last stream because of art style, because of graphical style. We cut other games before. Star Fox is influential, so we have other Star Fox games. And that one indie game that's coming out that's influenced by Star Fox. Monkey... Wait, what? Monkey... Wait, is Monkey... Wait, what? Hold on. Ocean Slayer, is Monkey... Now I'm so confused. What? Wait. What? We're talking about the Sega Monkey Ball, right? Oh, that's wild. And what else does it offer? I mean, that's my thing. That's wild. I didn't know Monkey Ball had an on-rail shooter mode. I'm trying to think. Because it offered... I mean, there was this whole Super FX chip thing. But like we said, that was... It was like first, like, polygonal 3D graphics. Technically. But we kind of... I'd argue we made it a rule that we're not basing games in here off of graphical style or art style. Which I think that's the big impact I could see Star Fox having, was like one of the first advents of like polygonal 3D technology. For example, I want to compare this, not that I'm necessarily comparing the two games. I want to bring up Mario 64 because I'm not including that game on this list because it's a big 3D game, or one of the earliest like big 3D games. I'm including it because of what it meant for the 3D gameplay space, like the camera system. Argue it as bad as you can, didn't really exist in a 3D space before this. That's why I had a tough time cutting Ocarina of Time last time, because of the Z targeting. So the way I'm approaching this list is based off of gameplay mechanics and like genre defining mechanics. I don't know what Star Fox is offering in that regard. So that's kind of why I'm proposing to cut Star Fox. I know Neto says cut it. Does anybody else have any defense for Star Fox? You're saying cut it? Okay. I'm not going to say it wasn't a big deal for the Super Nintendo and for early polygonal 3D graphics at the time, because clearly it was a big inspiration, but I don't... to me, it's a very time-boxed game in that regard. Whereas Mario 64 literally made a 3D camera movement system, which every game has used arguably since, every 3D game, I should say. I mean, graphics, you maybe... Yeah, fair. True. I mean, I think I would argue that Extreme's right about Star Fox being the bigger deal than F-Zero just because of that. But all right, it sounds like we're cutting it. No worries, Neto. All right, we're cutting Star Fox then. Sorry, X Freeman. I'm trying to switch who I target. I know that was a big one for you last time, X Freeman. So apologies. All right, so so Neto's not making any big arguments, guys. That means we're gonna cut Shadow of the Colossus. We're going to cut... What else did he say? Sonic 2. We're going to cut Sonic 2. We're going to cut God of War. No. We'll wait till Neto's back, but... we got to talk about it. Okay. Oh, yeah. I know. I mean, that's the tough thing, right? Is we're not even accepting games anymore. So, yeah, by that, we're targeting you. Okay. I need to wait till Neto's back, but I really... Neto's saying cut Sonic 2 and God of War. Okay. It's been a hell of a week. Gotcha. Hope you're doing okay, though, I should say. Okay. Neto's saying cut Sonic 2. Here's my thing. I, as a Sonic fan, don't discuss the RPGs yet. Okay. I agree about cutting Sonic 2. As a massive Sonic fan, as you guys know, the only impacts that Sonic has had on the industry is competing with Nintendo. I would argue Sonic 2 had Little Brother mode, sure. But how many games have Little Brother mode besides Nintendo games after that? You know what I mean? And I would not say Sonic 2 is the one that influenced the difficulty system. Like, that's the thing. It's like, Sonic 2's impact, in terms of industry impact, the only impact it really had was developing against Nintendo. But here's the thing. That's only on the console. We had all these crazy games on PC that people don't talk about a lot in that discussion. And that would last for 10 years, right? And then they went third party. So I am in favor of cutting Sonic 2. I don't think Sonic 2 will make this list. Oh, sound design? Oh. Sound design. Interesting. I would never have considered that, to be honest, Ocean Slayer. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. I'm kind of... Oh, the soundtrack's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we have Sonic 2 to credit for great sound. Like, that's the I don't think... And this kind of ties back into the discussion about graphical. Like, I don't think we can categorize any games here based on art or music. Like, I don't think that... Because here's the thing. Art and music are subjective. All different types of art and music are being created all the time. Game mechanics and genres are the ones influencing the types of games that get made. Whereas the art and music are more so crafted based around a game mechanic. So I'm hesitant to include games here because of art or music. Because of that reason. Because of industry impact being the factor here. I'm ready to cut Sonic 2. I know Neto is. I know X Freeman is. Ocean Slayer. I think you're the one holding on. I know. Now I feel like I'm targeting. I thought I was going to target Neto with this pick, but Neto cut Sonic 2. Like, wow. I think I'm going to cut it. Video game is gameplay. Right. The video game is gameplay at the core, and I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get at with this list. Add Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Listen, I would love to have Sonic 3 and Knuckles on here, but it's getting cut, unfortunately. Neto, just let us know in chat when you're back and ready to argue, because then we will bring up other discussions. God of War. How does everybody feel about cutting God of War? Because I'm ready to cut God of War. Oh, we could talk about RuneScape as well. Here's the thing. I'm not really the most familiar with RuneScape, so we can talk about that too. But, okay, you want to talk about RuneScape? We can talk about RuneScape. Is anybody here familiar with RuneScape? Is RuneScape? What genre is it? Because if RuneScape's an MMO, I think it's getting cut for sure. Oh, sorry. What genre is RuneScape? Yeah, I think we have to cut it. Alright, we're cutting it. Yeah. I was going to say, if it's an MMORPG, we're cutting it. Ocean Slayer says, never played God of War, and therefore have no opinions on it. That's kind of my thing, too. What influence it was other than violence and sex in a video game. That's kind of what I'm debating, too, because I'm like... That's the other tough thing, because I'm like, what... I don't know, what has it done? Yeah, like 3D action? But then again, you could argue Dark Souls is a 3D action game, right? And that's definitely staying on the list. So it's like, I don't know. Neto said cut it. I'm willing to cut it, especially because we have Dark Souls here. Does anyone else have any... I mean, you could even argue Tomb Raider for that too. I know they're not quite the same, but does anyone have any arguments against cutting God of War? Otherwise, I think I'm going to cut it. Right, and Dark Souls made more games like it, for sure. Any objections? Going once. Objections to cutting God of War. Going once. Going twice. Ready to remove. Boom, we're doing it. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna poke at some other ones while Neto's gone. Can we cut SimCity? Ocean Slayer? God damn it. City building video. Okay, city builders. Remember what I said earlier about cutting Guitar Hero 2? Where rhythm games are very niche and we don't need to represent every genre on this list? That is exactly how I feel with SimCity. Any objections to SimCity? I'm not really familiar with the game. City builders are not super prominent. I agree with that for now, Ocean Slayer. I mean, are they related? That's true. Civ has, yeah, because Civ has a little bit of overlap, but not, because Civ's more of like a strategy game, right? But I see what you mean. Like, if you're going to have any strategic PC game, I think it's Civ. You left Sims on your list, Neto? Okay. Well, Sims, right? Not SimCity. They do. I think they're like the same creators, but I think different game genres. But I think they might be related. Maybe. I don't even know. All right. It sounds like Neto's saying he left The Sims on the list and not SimCity. So I'm ready to cut SimCity. All right, cutting SimCity. Going once. Going twice. Sims, okay. All right, SimCity it is then. We're cutting it. Neto kept The Sims. Okay. In a similar vein. So here's this one I'm going to struggle with a little bit more. Can we talk about The Walking Dead? How? Obviously, Telltale makes these games. How? You don't know why Walking Dead say? So here's the thing. The Walking Dead was a big narrative choice game. That's why I put it on here. However, that specific subgenre of games are not super prolific. My only hesitation to take it off right now is the idea, was The Walking Dead a big branching off point for games to include more narrative choices? Like, do we have The Walking Dead to thank for narrative choices in games, even if they don't have impact on the plot or the progression of the plot? If not, then I will remove it. I just want to poke at it. I'm curious what people think. That was my reasoning for putting it on here in the first place. And we already cut Undertale, so. Oh, true. There was Life is Strange. That was after Walking Dead, right? We did have the Life is Strange series. Right. Also kind of in the visual novel camp. All right. Yeah, The Walking Dead, I don't... And looking at how short this list is going to be, I just don't think it's going to make the cut. I really don't. Right. I mean, this was a different style of narrative choice, though. This was a more in-depth narrative choice. But I don't... To what X Freeman is saying, there's Life is Strange, but where else did the industry go? Right. Okay. Yeah, I think we can cut it. I think we can cut The Walking Dead. I don't... That specific genre of game is pretty niche, all things considered. There's not a lot of games besides it. Telltale games and Life is Strange, I think, are the only examples we really have. And what there's the As Dusk Falls game. So not in an insignificant amount. Not as much as, like, rhythm games or other games and stuff. Oh, what are you? Windows. Can you just, like, not shit the bed for 1 second? Stop it. Okay. I'm gonna cut Walking Dead. Going once. Going once for cutting The Walking Dead. Going twice. It's cut. Okay. It sounded like Neto wanted to talk about the racing game specifically. I kind of want to wait for Neto to come back to discuss that. Title, what's going on, bro? Second time you got a playback error. Wait, I love this song. Once it loads. Title's not having fun right now. So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave the racing games for now. I'm gonna wait for Neto to get back. Man, all right, 1 second. I gotta reboot this shit. 1 second while I get the music back up. Can we talk about Diablo? All right, what game soundtrack do you guys want, by the way? Let me know in chat. I could pull up a game soundtrack. Isometric action games, but then again, action games, like, I think there's more influential action games already on this list. Oh, cut all the racing games, you're saying. Okay. Let's do Diablo first, and then we're going to discuss the racing games. All right. No one has any game soundtrack recommendations. I'll just pull up some Sonic, because screw it. Screw it. It's easily accessible right now. There we go. My gut is leaning to cutting Diablo. I'm not super familiar with Diablo, but I don't really know what impact it had on the games industry. It's an isometric action game. It's got some online, but we've got that covered already. I don't know. Does anyone have any objections to cutting Diablo off this list? Also, Neto, I'm going to assume that wasn't in the RPG discussion. Although some would consider it an RPG, but I don't know. I don't really know enough about Diablo. So, oh, interesting. So you're arguing Diablo was the big go-to for action RPGs. Okay. Neto says cut Diablo. This is interesting because we were talking about this earlier, Ocean Slayer, where you were saying that East was, like, credited as one of the first action RPGs. Diablo is definitely more, like, recognizable, but that's mainstream. I don't know. Yeah, Destiny, Torchlight, Path of Exile. Oh, it's the sad Sage song. Here's the thing, though. Like, how... I think Diablo's a tougher one because, yeah, if it is one of the big action RPGs, but I don't know. PC 88, what the hell is that? Yeah. Town Hub. Okay. I mean, Town Hubs were a thing way before Diablo. Loot system, though, I don't know. Loot-based action RPG. How prolific are those in the industry? I mean, I know X Freeman mentioned a few examples. Destiny, Torchlight, Path of Exile. I'm just like, I don't know. I can leave it there for now. That's true. Gearbox does like to say that Borderlands is an action loot-based RPG. So you're grouping Skyrim in the same... That's interesting. I mean, yeah, I guess it's technically an action RPG. I guess. With loot. Looter shooter argue that had its inversions to the best RPG. True. Diablo's important, but not a Skyrim. I mean, here's the hot take. You want to hear my hot take? I think we cut Skyrim. To be honest. But I don't know if we're ready to have that discussion. This is the time for hot takes episode. Throw it out there. Skyrim's the Western RPG. Yeah, it's true. So Ocean Slayer, it's funny you mentioned that. That thought has been swimming in the back of my mind, and you spoiled it. Damn it! No, I'm kidding. We're gonna revisit that. Okay. Okay. Title, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna leave Diablo and Skyrim for now. We're gonna have to revisit this discussion, but let's talk about the racing games here. So, X Freeman, I'm gonna go back to your chat from earlier. Need for Speed led to Drive Club, Burnout, and Forza. Okay. Neto said cut both racing games. No Sonic, I can't believe it. Great soundtrack. We have Gran Turismo and we have Need for Speed. I mean, we also have Mario Kart. But obviously that's a very different type of racer. That's more of the arcadey racer. If we're talking about more realistic racer sims, Neto, we're gonna revisit that. We're gonna revisit that. Don't you worry. There will be pain. And so is Gran Turismo. Is Gran Turismo an arcadey racer? Oh, I think. See, okay. So here's where my knowledge fails me. I thought Gran Turismo was a realistic simulation racer, but you're saying it's not. Because if it's like, I'm willing to cut Gran Turismo in that case. I thought Gran Turismo was more realistic, but it might not be. I think if we keep either of these, it probably is Need for Speed, though. Does anybody have any objections to me just cutting Gran Turismo? It's pretty niche. Okay, I don't think I realized that. Alright, in that case, I'm going to cut Gran Turismo unless there's any objections. Oh, it's known for its realistic racing physics. I see. Whereas Need for Speed really kind of kickstarted the realistic racing sim genre. Oh, the movie, yeah. The movie's Gran Turismo, yeah. I see. Okay. Physics. I still think we cut Gran Turismo in favor of Need for Speed if we keep one of those. So, is anybody objecting to cutting Gran Turismo at all? Because if not, I'm going to cut it. Yeah, I assumed it was too Neto. At least from a GG player to an actual pro driver, literally. Crazy. Right, I forgot it was based on a true story, too. That's crazy. Alright, going once for cutting Gran Turismo. State your objections now if you have any more. We can do this fun thing where we say, hold it, like an Ace Attorney if you can do that. Alright, going once for cutting Gran Turismo. Going twice for Gran Turismo. Okay, it's cut. We're down to 50. And it's been an hour. Oh boy. It's okay, we got some time. Alright. Oh, is it not an arcade racer? I think Need for Speed is probably the more prolific racer. It might be an arcadey style racer, but still with realistic graphics, so I don't really know where that falls into place. Alright. I mean, and I think that's the problem, Ocean Slayer. Like, this is going to be a subjective list no matter what we do, I think. So it's kind of tough, you know? All right. So I wanted this... Okay, first of all, let me do the easier one. A couple easier ones. Okay. Should we cut Myst? Does anyone actually know much about Myst? I think it's like a first-person puzzle exploration game. But I don't really know. Myst is great. Okay. What impact on the industry has Myst had? That's what I need to get at here. Because arguably most of these games are great. 30 of them have to get cut. I don't know what Myst has contributed. I am not super familiar with Myst. Point and click. Oh, really? Oh, I guess if you do that, okay. Oh, you have to head out Extreme and no worries. Mostly it was for graphics and CD-ROM. Okay. I would argue that's not enough to keep it on this list, to be honest. I mean, here... Okay. And you're not going to want to hear this, Ocean Slayer. Unfortunately, I know you're not going to want to hear this. I think we have to cut both Monkey Island and Myst. I think we have to cut both of them. Point and clicks were a thing. I know, it's pain. But here's my thing. Name 5 point and click games that have been made in the last 10 years. Remakes do not count. Because what this list is coming down to is this list is coming down to what game ideas, whether the game is 40 years old or 5 years old, what ideas have carried through the industry throughout that time. And unfortunately, I think point and clicks are a product of their time. Like, sure, they were big adventure games, but we have half of these games are already adventure games. I don't know if both of these belong on this list. You think point and click evolved to be an exploration puzzle? Okay. Dispatch, okay. Alright, Neto, let me ask you. Was either Monkey Island or Myst on your list? Alright, I guess we're stretching the point and click definition in that case. I see what you're saying. I would argue Dispatch is not a point and click because you can play with a controller, but okay, neither were. Okay, that's tough. Well, thank you, X Freeman, for contributing to this list. You've had a big impact on this list. Thank you for contributing to it. In case you head out soon. You actually found cutting it? Okay. I don't really think it's a prolific enough impact for either of them. For either Myst or Monkey Island. You know, we would have had adventure exploration games without these two. And especially the point and click idea is just long gone. Unless you're making a throwback. Because here's the thing. I don't think it makes sense to have games on this list that are like influenced throwback games in the same genre. Like I think that actually kind of disqualifies it from the list. So I would argue we cut both. Ocean Slayer says favor cutting it. It's not on Neto's list. I'm cutting Monkey Island. 3. Cutting Monkey Island. And Myst, actually. 3. Cutting both. 2. Cutting both Monkey Island and Myst. List your objections now if you have any. 1. Alright, fine. I'll cut just Monkey Island. We are indeed cutting Myst before Fortnite. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing with Fortnite. Every game is trying to be it. That is the justification for it being on the list. Personally, I would say that. The justification for Fortnite being this far is because every game right now, it literally established the live service genre in terms of popularity and just impact popularity in terms of every game developer. Look at Sony. Look at Sony trying 10 live service games because of Fortnite. You know it's because of Fortnite. Fortnite has had a huge impact. Roblox? We can talk about Roblox right now. Does it make sense for Roblox to be on this list? It's a very broad term. I mean, to me, live service is a game that, like a forever game that constantly is getting updated with new challenges and things to do. That is what Fortnite is. True. I mean, are they all? I guess maybe. WoW's live service. So that's why you cut. That's the reason why you cut Fortnite, Neto. Except Dunkirk. That is fair. That is fair. Okay. That could be a reason to take Fortnite off the list. Okay. Right, it's a different method, but no, that's a good point. That's a great point, guys. That's a great point. I'm willing to... Okay. Well, because here's the thing. We've got World of Warcraft to be the live service online game. We have Diablo, maybe Skyrim for the loot. We have plenty of shooters. It's just, it's hard for me to cut it because everybody wanted to start making a live service game after Fortnite blew up. You know what I mean? That's why it's so hard for me to cut it. Because every game company, not everyone, of course, so many wanted to make a Fortnite. And many have failed. And many will continue to fail. And still continue to try. Oh, true. I mean, Fortnite succeeded with live service, but Epic bleeds money, as we know now. Collabs in games, okay. That's a good point, too, like IP crossover. I mean, other games have done IP crossover before, though. Case in point, Smash Brothers, but... okay. I guess we're talking about this now, so you know what, let's focus in on this. Okay. Neto, Last stream you said cut Smash Brothers. Do you still hold true to that? Because here's the thing: are we considering collaboration with other IP as an industry impact thing? Because you are both starting to sell me on cutting Fortnite based on what you're describing. I have to feel some pain too. I don't love Fortnite, but I'm just saying. Because the other game on this list that covers collaboration in games is Smash Brothers, but I also don't know. Yeah, we still have Smash Brothers. I know you wanted to cut Smash 64 last time. I'm leaning towards cutting it now, though. Here's the thing. We're going to have 3 fighting games on this list. Fighting games are not that prevalent. I think we have to cut. Hey, Squid, good to see you live in chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the chaos. Here's the thing. If we keep any fighting game on this list, it's Street Fighter 2. Everything that's tried is for me. But here, I mean, here's the thing, Ocean Slayer. This again goes to everybody making live streams came back to Fortnite. The key focus here is that people tried to make clones of it. We had PlayStation All-Stars, we had Multiverses, we had Nicktoons All-Stars Brawl. But so I'm not going to say that Smash Bros. Hasn't had an industry impact, but I do think platform fighters are still pretty niche. We only need Street Fighter 2 there. All right, I'm honestly in agreement with you on Tekken. Do we need the distinction between 2D and 3D fighters? Not a ton. Maybe we just cut both. Do we cut both Smash Brothers and Tekken 3? All right, you all are in agreement about Smash Brothers. I'm cutting Smash Brothers. Neto says cut Tekken 3. Yeah, if we have any, it's Street Fighter 2. 100%. 100%. I'm in agreement about cutting Tekken 3. Any objections to cutting Tekken 3? We're going to go in 3. Two. What's your objections for cutting Tekken 3 now? 1. Tekken 3's gone. Okay. Tekken 3's gone. We are down to 47. I know. You're the fighting game community guy. I know. I like to throw it out there in case anybody... Okay, let's revisit Roblox. So... Roblox is interesting because it's like arguably the most played game right now. Shout out to whoever subscribed, by the way. Thank you so much. It's arguably the most played game right now, especially by like just kids. But has the industry tried anything because of it? As a platform? That's true. That's a good point. It really is a platform. The only comparable platform I guess I could think of was like Dreams, which was on PlayStation. Similar, like create your own game kind of thing. Exactly. It's a platform to host your games that you create. People make their own games on it. Right. But yeah, that's a good point. Is it disqualified because it's not really a game? That's a good point, Ocean Slayer. Plus, there's really no one... There's no one trying to copy Roblox because Roblox is a juggernaut. Like, it just is. It's an entity. Which could also have its own impact on the industry as a result. But I don't know. Alright, I think I'm okay with cutting Roblox. It's basically an RPG Maker. Yeah, because you just make your own games in it. It's an asset, but yeah. It's like Gary's Mod. Same thing, too. Which had an impact, but is it really a game? I'm with you. All right. We're going to cut Roblox. Going once. List your objections to cutting Roblox. Throw them out now in chat. Going once for cutting Roblox. Going twice for cutting Roblox. It's gone. All right. Netta, let me know in chat when you're done with your errands, ready to full-on argue. Because I have some thoughts. How are we feeling about Assassin's Creed 2 on this list? This is not the one, Netta. This is a different one. How do we feel about Assassin's Creed 2? Like, stealth, action. Sure, I know there's a lot of Assassin's Creed games. 2 minutes, okay. Hey, don't call it out. Don't call it out. You caught me, Ocean Slayer. I don't feel comfortable cutting it yet. I don't. I need to argue it a little more. How do you feel about Assassin's Creed 2? I'm not familiar with Assassin's Creed. Oh, jeez. You also postponed the Mist debate, for sure. You're blacking out my neighborhood right now as well. That sucks. Yeah, sorry about that. Does that mean you don't have internet access? But you're here, so clearly not. Anyways, Assassin's Creed. Let's talk about Assassin's Creed. Because... I mean, I don't really know. 'Cause here's the tough thing. There's a crap ton of Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft games. For sure. But... again, I wonder if this is the God of War situation. Where... we already have some action games here. And I'm just wondering... like, we're not gutting Dark Souls. No shot. Dark Souls is on this list. Have people tried to make... they're iconic and influential. Right. Have people tried to copy Assassin's Creed? Like, I don't know if they have directly. That's a tough thing. There's really no direct games that I can point to. This is an inspiration for it. Besides other Assassin's Creed. So I'm... unlocking map climbing tall thing. May I present to you Zelda Breath of the Wild. So that's the thing. Breath of the Wild, obviously inspired by Assassin's Creed. Breath of the Wild, I think, is the bigger industry impact. Even though I know there's a million Assassin's Creed games. But here's the thing. I think there's a million Assassin's Creed games because, A, it's Ubisoft, and they can't make anything else. That's a joke. B, people buy the games because they like Assassin's Creed. They like the concept. They like the gameplay. But that doesn't mean it's impacted the rest of the industry. We're looking at outside of the developers of the games who is following those trends. And it did... Netta brought this up earlier. You're mentioning it now, Ocean Slayer. It did inspire, like, Breath of the Wild in that regard. The 20 most influential. I mean, it made it into the top 50. Alright. I'm going to cut Assassin's Creed 2. I'm going to cut Assassin's Creed 2. I don't know if there's anyone here that's better to defend it, but... going once for cutting Assassin's Creed 2. Please state your objections now. Going once. Oh, sorry. I accidentally had it over missed. Going once to cut Assassin's Creed 2. Going twice to discuss Assassin's Creed 2. To cut Assassin's Creed 2. Right. It inspired a mechanic, which we can... that is valid, but... well, so, Squid, here's the thing. Can you defend? Because I know you're new here. is, I know you're new in this stream part series, so let me discuss what we're doing. We're getting this down to the 20 most influential games of all time. What that means is that what are the 20 games that have had the most in video game industry impacts? So not most popular, not 20 best, not the most mainstream. What it means is what have these games done to influence other games that have come out since. We have a better Ubisoft game in there, and I know what Neto's referring to, and that is Zelda Breath of the Wild. So Squid, I mean, if you have a defense in terms of to keep it there, I'm willing to listen. Otherwise, it sounds like the rest of us are in favor of cutting Assassin's Creed 2. It's not about our favorite games. It's not about the best games here. It's about what has influenced the rest of the gaming industry. I'll give you a few seconds. If no objections, we're going to cut it. All right. You don't? Okay. I'm sorry, Squid. There's got to be pain here. We're cutting it. All right. Neto. Defend Shadow of the Colossus. That's okay. No worries. It's tough to think of stuff for sure. It's tough because we have to think about gaming industry as a whole. You know what I mean? And that's tough because we all have our own objective take or subjective takes. That's why this list has been really... it's taken a while. That's why there's two parts. We've been thinking through this. Defend Shadow of the Colossus, Neto. Is it on your list? Anybody else, feel free to also defend Shadow of the Colossus. I don't really know Shadow of the Colossus. I don't know what makes it stand out besides big guy climb on him. We already have climbing represented. We already have action games represented. So I'm curious what else this has contributed. I don't know. First big thing on use the gameplay narrative against the player. See, I don't even know what you mean by that exactly. Like, I don't know. On story with a big plot twist, introduce the idea that games can tell emotionally affecting stories. Okay. I mean, I would argue Metal Gear Solid also had an emotional affecting story. The word against is important. Huh. I guess I'm trying to understand the I'm trying to understand. You shouldn't say introduce. Okay, gotcha. Like, I don't. Did we have a rule last time that narratives also don't have an impact on this list? I feel like we did. I could be wrong. I don't know. And then one of the biggest narrative plot twists. Okay. I don't remember what we did in part 1. Did we also exclude narrative? I don't know if we did. It might have just been art style. I'm just like, I don't know. I guess, I mean, you guys are both arguing for it. I guess this is when I leave and we see if we can knock anything else out. Well, okay, so you joke, Ocean Slayer. I kind of want to get rid of Pong. I actually want to get rid of Pong. Here's the thing. It's not even the first video game ever made. It was, what, Tennis for Two was the first one? Shadow of the Colossus story doesn't work outside the game. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. So the game and story are super intertwined. Okay. Right. But we already have a sports game that's more influential in here. Okay, Neto, I see. That's interesting. Okay. I'm willing to leave Shadow of the Colossus on here for now, because you guys are both arguing for it. What do you think about Pong? I don't think it should get a pass here just because it was one of the first games. Honestly, Pong should have gotten cut by now. We should probably cut it. Sounds like Ocean Slayer's in favor of cutting Pong. Going once for cutting Pong. Let's see objections now. Going twice for cutting Pong. It's gone. Even if it weren't discussion, which something I can credit. Yeah. All right. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let's talk. I want to talk about something, Neto. I'm curious about your thoughts, and of course everybody else. Sorry, I don't mean to single people out. We have both Tetris and Candy Crush Saga on this list. Pong's for 21 for a while. Did it make your list, or no? It got it cut down. Like, I get it, but like it wasn't even the first video game, so I'm kind of like, eh. It's the first one people think of, sure. So here's what happened last stream, Ocean Slayer. We had a whole bunch of mobile games. And Candy Crush was the one that survived. We had Angry Birds, we had Temple Run, we cut them all. At this point, was Candy Crush even... It got cut down, gotcha. Was Candy Crush even the mobile game that everybody else inspired? We had Clash of Clans too, I forgot about that. I'm like... We did. We had a discussion about that. I kept Angry Birds on there for a while, personally. I was outvoted. This is a cooperative list. This is not... I could just hijack things, but I want to be cooperative. And by cooperative, I mean keep Fortnite on there. No, so Candy Crush and Tetris. Here's the thing, is that puzzle games aren't like that. Like, okay, here's the thing. It's tough because puzzle games are almost most popular on phones now. You wouldn't single any specific mobile game? Yeah, I guess not. I'm just like, part of me was like, do we represent the mobile gaming market? But I'm like, do we even bother? I'm just trying to think of like... Do we keep Candy Crush on this list? Like, I don't know. Like, sure, mobile gaming's a big deal, but a lot of mobile games are just inspired by other games. I mean, Candy Crush was literally, you know, I know Tetris was the first one, but Tetris is like the model. No one's modeling Candy Crush. I don't think. I mean, probably all these like AI slot mobile games are. I'm not counting those as games, so we're not going to factor those in. I'm kind of leaning towards that too. Cutting Candy Crush, and for now keeping Tetris. I know we won't have any mobile game representation because of that, but at the same time, do we need that? Is mobile too specific? Do we need to be thinking more about casual gaming? Which, if we're talking casual gaming, we have Wii Sports. I don't know. I think I'm going to cut Candy Crush. And if we have puzzle, we have Tetris. I think I'm going to cut Candy Crush. I'm going once for cutting Candy Crush. Okay, Squid. Squid says keep... Oh, keep Tetris. Keep Tetris. Okay, sorry. Going once for cutting Candy Crush. Say your objections now. Mobile games are not niche, though, Ocean Slider. Here's what we have to remember. Mobile games are, like, the casual market, which makes up, to be honest, most video games. Most video gamers. Right, Neto. Does it make an impact on video games as a whole? Not really. Yeah. Alright. Going twice for cutting Candy Crush. I'm going to cut it then. We don't have to include mobile in that case. Candy Crush would fit here on a mainstream list. Here, maybe not. Alright. Final word on Candy Crush. I'm cutting it. Alright. Cutting it. Let's talk Gears of War. I think we have too many shooters on this list. I know shooters are a big deal, but are they that big of a deal? I would cut Gears of War before many shooters that are still on this list. I know it was big third-person shooter. I know the cover shooter. Then again, the cover part, this is getting to all we need is Halo. I disagree. But I think we need Halo on there. I think we can have... I think max 3 FPSs can be here. But Gears of War, I don't think is one of them. Similar reasons to why we cut Tekken 3 for being a 3D fighter versus a 2D Street Fighter fighter. I think we cut Gears of War. Cut it? Alright. Alright, Gears of War. Cut. Cool. Easy. Alright. Can we? Okay. Are we ready to cut Eddie and Zelda? I know X Freeman was defending it last time. Neto, I think you were in favor of cutting Zelda. Because here's the thing we have to remember, guys. We can only have one game per series. Squid. COD Modern Warfare 2, I was debatably holding on to for now. We can revisit that discussion if we need to later. Because here's what I'm looking at right here, right? Here's what I'm looking at right now. We have Atari Adventure. We have NES Zelda. Both very outdated adventure games. We should definitely be cutting Atari Adventure. Sure. Arguably one of the first adventure games of the game series. Same series rule? Yes. Yes. Same series rule. I think Breath of the Wild is the one we keep for Zelda. I think it is. Interesting. Okay. So you definitely agree with cutting Adventure. Okay. Okay. Going once for cutting Atari Adventure. Say your objections now. Going twice for cutting Atari Adventure. Last chance. Boom. All right. I think here's the thing. I think we have to debate NES Zelda versus Breath of the Wild at some point. I don't know if we're ready to have that debate yet, but we're getting there. Okay, let's talk Streets of Rage. Here's the thing. I think this falls into the camp of 3 of their series got 3 games on it. Oh, yeah, because we had 3 Mario, 3 Zelda, 3 Metroid. Right. Streets of Rage, though. Here's the thing. I do think this is a situation of... Obviously, beat 'em ups were a big deal back during the Genesis, Super Nintendo era, even NES to that degree. Most beat 'em ups being produced now are kind of throwbacks. None of them do a lot to evolve the core formula. Sure, Absalom's a roguelike beat 'em up, but it's still a beat 'em up. Scott Pilgrim is intentionally a throwback beat 'em up. Streets of Rage 4. Need I say more? I feel like we should cut Streets of Rage. Are there games coming out now that are advancing the formula? No. And that's intentionally so because they're throwbacks. They're being made occasionally, sure. But they're all intended to be very retro-inspired. And I would argue that's not pushing or impacting the industry. Does anybody have any thoughts there? They're all the same. They have very minute differences, Squid, yeah, but none of them are really pushing the envelope in terms of the genre forward. They're all intentionally throwbacks. Does anybody have any further objections to Streets of Rage? Going once for cutting Streets of Rage. Yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion is a great example, yeah. The Power Rangers Rita's Revenge, same thing. Going twice for cutting Streets of Rage. Say your final objections now, otherwise it's getting cut. Cut. All right. You're down to 40. We still got to cut 20 of these games, guys. They still chorus Streets of Rage, exactly. Let me... We're at 40. Okay, make it a little bigger for you. All right. All right, so let's talk the RPGs now. It's time. Let's talk the RPGs. So notice how I don't think I mentioned Final Fantasy VII's a lock, because I don't think it is. Get that out of here. Final Fantasy VII, we have Chrono Trigger, and we have Dragon Quest III. Okay, you guys are okay. Here's the thing. I want to cut Chrono Trigger. Please enlighten me. I think if you keep one of these, it's Dragon Quest III. But please, please enlighten me. Besides it being a 20-hour turn-based RPG, please enlighten me. Please, no, please. Please. You have to rip out your heart and crush it. We're doing this right now. We're doing it. Get all bias out of your system. Dragon Quest III is literally the RPG. Here's the thing. Dragon Quest III is one of the most iconic RPGs of all time. Not mainstream, I get it. But Dragon Quest III established the turn-based RPG formula, refined it after the first two games. Chrono Trigger would not exist without Dragon Quest III. Is that a fair argument to say? Neither would Final Fantasy VII, to be honest. But that's another story. I'm trying to understand why Chrono Trigger? I'll be honest, Neto, I've heard that once, and that's with Sea of Stars. But that might just be my inner circle. It's never the new Dragon Quest because Dragon Quest is like a thing. I mean, maybe this is the Ubisoft argument. Maybe this is the Assassin's Creed argument for Dragon Quest as well. Most turn-based RPGs would not exist without Dragon Quest. Threads of Time? I've never even heard of that game. But that's just, I guess, on my end. It's so, I don't know. Writing, yes, we're not considering narrative. Well, we haven't considered the not narrative thing. I don't think we've considered that as a rule yet. Character limits exist, so my argument will be continue the next message. Okay. let me ask this, because unfortunately a lot of this, I think a lot of this does come down to AAA versus not, where it's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, if, I mean, that's the thing though. How many AAA RPGs are being made? Wow. Netta, let me ask you, is Chrono Trigger the only turn-based RPG on your list? Okay. Some relationships, character arcs instead of just being heroes. Okay. 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 Gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. You can look at this. Okay. All right. Damn. Okay, you know what, though? I will also say, in terms of gameplay, Chrono Trigger has the timing-based inputs, right? Which also inspired RPGs like Paper Mario and that kind of stuff. It's the same team. Oh, interesting. Okay. This is tough. Dragon Quest is such an important series, especially in Japan. But if we're talking game mechanics, maybe not. Well, here's the thing. FF7, because it needed one, and also because it's popular. So are you guys saying cut Dragon Quest 3? Title? Don't crash on me again, man. One of them has to go. Is it Dragon Quest 3? Is that what you guys are arguing? Cut Final Fantasy 7, but keep Chrono. I'm just trying to think. When you think about, oh, for sure Squid, but then again, do we even have Final Fantasy in here? If it was just popular, they wouldn't have changed the gameplay. Yeah, no, that makes sense, because then if it was popular enough, they wouldn't have changed it to the new gameplay. But I don't think that has anything to do with the list, necessarily. In terms of gaming industry impact, you know? Individual game. Honestly, I think this is tough because none of us are Japanese. I feel like that would be the call to make. All right. No, you guys have convinced me. We'll cut Dragon Quest 3. We'll cut Dragon Quest 3. Say your objections now. We cannot have 3 turn-based RPGs on this list. We could maybe have 2, but we cannot have 3. And I'm assuming you guys are leaning cut Dragon Quest. Going once for cutting Dragon Quest. I will concede. Going twice for cutting Dragon Quest. Final objections. Boom. All right. All right. You convinced me. You happy now? All right. You really want to have this Final Fantasy VII debate right now? Are there any other things we can poke? I'm trying to look at other stuff to poke here. So here's the thing. Okay. So, okay, let's talk about Nintendo. Is Among Us the big friend slop game? Is Among Us the reason people are making friend slop games right now? I know we talked about Left 4 Dead doing that. But I think this is a different scenario where this is more like the proximity chat kind of social game. It might not be. But that's why I have not cut it yet. Probably. To be honest, Among Us is on here in a similar way that Fortnite is on here for me, where I'm like, you know, but I'd be more willing to cut Among Us. Because then again, as the recent success of Peak has inspired very recently a lot of people to start making those friends lab games. Among Us was a big COVID game. But then again, Animal Crossing's not on here because this is video game influence, this is industry influence. This isn't, once again, mainstream influence, you know? Does anybody have any arguments in favor of keeping Among Us here? Because I'm willing to cut it if there's not enough argument for it. No? No squid? Ocean Slayer? You have none? Alright. Doesn't sound like anyone else wants to keep it. It's tough because it's like a big social game, but... I mean, here's where we have to start getting more granular because we only have 20. There's the Orange Guys game that's a friend slot. Oh, Lethal Company? Oh, true. And that's not on this list, yeah. Maybe Among Us isn't quite friend slop as it is, like, just social game. But then again, you know, I don't know. I think we're ready to cut it, though. I don't think it's going to make the list at this point. It's just not enough. Thank you, Lethal Company. There we go. What else can I poke here? Friends help me think of co-op, not Mafia Werewolf as a video game. Oh, true. True, because that is it. That's true. That's effectively what that is. You had 3 RPGs on your list. Oh. Oh, well, are you including, like, Skyrim as a Western RPG? Or are you talking about turn-based? And did we already kill one of them? Like, that'd be funny. Okay. I want to poke a few more holes before we really get into, like, the really, really tough ones. Pokemon, true. Okay, well, now that you mention that, in that Ocean Slayer mention cutting Final Fantasy VII. Where is Pokemon? Oh, I moved it up. They're very different, for sure. But, I mean, okay, let's just, fuck it, we're gonna do it now. We're gonna do it now. Should Final Fantasy VII be cut? Because it probably doesn't make sense to have both Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Trigger here. Right? If we're talking narrative, Final Fantasy, like for Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VII also did that, like a darker element with memorable characters. Like they both did that. Final Fantasy VII is one of the most popular mainstream games of all time. What did it influence? Right? What? More Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy VII remakes. In terms of the gaming industry, Final Fantasy VII was already one of the RPGs. Like Chrono Trigger already existed. Dragon Quest already existed. And Final Fantasy VII didn't refine the formula. It refines maybe a narrative in RPGs. Do we cut it? Sounds like Neto and Ocean Slayer, you're both saying yes. I'd be willing to cut Final Fantasy VII. Just because of the Robert Pattinson interview. True, I forgot about that. I honestly... Squid says cut it. Alright. This is going to be a big one. This is going to upset people outside of this chat. Going once. Step back on Chrono Trigger. Because the active time battle gauge. More games have copied Chrono Trigger's time input than Final Fantasy VII ATB, right? So if we're talking game mechanics, Chrono Trigger is the more impactful game. All right, going once for cutting Final Fantasy VII. Objections now. This is a big one. People don't choose PS1, yeah. It certainly wasn't influential for game graphics, let me tell you. Going twice for cutting Final Fantasy VII. This is going to be one that people get mad at. Final objections? If none. All right. We did it. We did it. So now, yeah, we have Chrono Trigger and Pokemon. I mean, do you want to hear my potential hot take? Do we keep Pokemon? I'm honestly like his... Yeah, I get it's the most successful media company of all time. But I'm like, what did it influence? What did it impact? You know? I'm like... Buying multiple versions of games? Palworld, I guess? I don't know. Maybe we cut... I don't know. Do we cut Pokemon? I know you didn't, Neto. Games were already on handheld for the longest time. Game Boy was out for 9 years. No, 7 years before that. Multimedia adaptation, sure, but we're not even factoring into this list. Handheld gaming already... But I guess it did popularize it? But here's the thing. The Game Boy Color Advance probably would have existed without Pokemon, right? Or are you arguing no? Did they? Did they plan to stop doing Game Boys in 96? Okay, that's an argument to keep it. Were they gonna... And then Pokemon revitalized it a little bit? Okay, that's an argument to keep it. All right, we won't touch it for now. We won't touch it for now. True. I think specifically Squid here, we're talking the Game Boy games. We're talking like a specific game. So not, I guess the trading cards would be included in there. It's already getting so fucking difficult, man. Yeah. Wait, what's the third one? Oh, TF2, you're right. All right. Tomb Raider. Okay. Early 3D game. Tomb Raider inspired Uncharted. Is that about it? Bonetto. Tomb Raider inspired the internet to love pointy tits. We all know this. No. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm trying to think Lara Croft is influential, Tomb Raider's not. You're right. The game is not really influential. You're right. It's the character. No, you're right. You're right. All right. No, that's correct. You're right. Going once for cutting Tomb Raider. Any other objections? Going twice for cutting Tomb Raider. It's gone. All right. Can we revisit what we think are locks here? I feel like all those are locks. I guess I won't put Fortnite in that list. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I know you're going to try to argue against Metal Gear Solid for me, but I feel like that's a lock. The first 6. I agree. These are definitely locks. Okay, well, here's the thing. Because Ocean Slayer, you would try... Okay, let's just do this now. We have to do this at some point soon. We cut Harvest Moon maybe like a few minutes before you showed up, Ocean Slayer. The main reason why Stardew Valley is here is because of the indie representation. Just the fact that it's like the solo indie game that people reference. That's why it's here, in my opinion. And the cozy farming genre. We gotta cut one of these two, and I do think we cut NES Zelda. I do think we cut it. I get it. It was like a huge deal when it came out. Adventure games to come, sure. Did it perfect it? Did it refine it? Sure, from adventure. Started a lot of trends. That's true. It revitalized the cozy farming game genre. Honestly, I'm tempted to put this in the lock spot. We're gonna put it up there. We're gonna debate. No. No shot. Absolutely not. Breath of the Wild covers more here. I do think it does more. Here's the thing. Breath of the Wild wasn't the first to do what it did. It was the first to combine a lot of those elements together, but it like perfected it to the point where everybody was copying it. Zelda, NES Zelda, one of the first to do it. Lots of refinement that happened later. But besides NES Zelda, what did it? It influenced adventure games, no doubt. No doubt. But I do think we cut it. We can only keep one per series, and we have to cut either NES Zelda or Breath of the Wild, and I think Breath of the Wild is the bigger one. No, it doesn't make it less influential. No. But if we went by that logic, Ocean Slayer, only old games would be on this list. Like, we have to think about this as what were the big industry breakout moments. Breath of the Wild was that. That was a big industry breakout moment. NES Zelda, was it? Was it a big breakout moment of all of us have to make these top-down adventure games where we all have to... No, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you offering the dialogue, but that's, I think, helping to feed into the argument against it. I think we cut NES Zelda. Like Neto said, it's painful because it probably should be here, but Breath of the Wild also should be here, and we're limiting this to one per series, which is where this gets really tricky. And I think we do have to cut Zelda. All right, that's it. We're doing it. Going once for cutting NES Zelda. List your objections if so. Ocarina of Time was cut very early on, Ocean Slayer. Don't you worry. Going twice for NES Zelda. Final objections? Oh, he's not? Okay. We're cutting NES Zelda in favor of Breath of the Wild. It's gone! Alright. Oh, that's funny. What Zelda were you talking about? Just like, alright, Neto. I'm willing to revisit this conversation. Ocarina of Time's on your list? Oh, gotcha. So did you put that over Breath of the Wild? Because that's kind of funny. Spirit tracks, hell yeah. Let's cut Super Metroid. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yes, Metroidvania is Metroid and Castlevania, but they're both the same genre. We wouldn't have Symphony of the Night without Super Metroid, but again, I think this is the same argument. Oh, you ignored the same series rule? Gotcha. But I think Castlevania is the breakout hit. I think we cut Super Metroid. I'm leaning towards cutting Super Metroid right now. Looking at this list, I think that's the one. Oh, nice. We can look at the end. Okay, gotcha. I love Metroid, don't get me wrong, but, like, I think we cut it. I think we cut Metroid and we keep Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The hill that I will die on is we keep Symphony of the Night on this list. I will not let that game get cut. All right. Going once for cutting Super Metroid. Any objections? Listen now. Going twice for cutting Super Metroid. Any objections? Listen now. It's gone. All right. Oh, true, in terms of speedrunning. That's fair. That's fair. I would argue that's more driven by the fans rather than... rather than the game developers, I think, which is what we're more focusing on. But it is an interesting option. No, Neto. I would cut Hades over Symphony of the Night easily. Hades is there because of roguelikes. But I'm honestly wondering if we should cut it. Because... yes, roguelikes are everywhere. But... I don't... it just doesn't... Hades is the roguelike. I don't... Again, Hades is the breakout one, though. Hades is the one that's like... Hades came out, everybody wanted to make a roguelike. Even if it didn't add anything, it had really... Everybody was hot. That's what it added. I don't think there were dozens before Hades. Well, maybe. I mean, Binding of Isaac, Rogue, of course. I think Rogue Legacy was before Hades. I mean, Hades was in 2020. Hades is not that old. There may have been, like, 10. But Hades is the breakout one. Yeah. Oh, really? 2 was before? That's funny. Like, Hades is not that old. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to move Wii Sports up. We're almost at 30. We're almost at 30. Ocean Slayer, I think it's time to cut Mist. I'm sorry to say. I've held out for you for this long. Right. Got a Orb, true. I mean, Splatoon? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you defend Mist for me fully? No, don't do this! Do not do this to me! Oh my god, okay. It's the same argument. If we cut Fortnite, we have to cut Hades. I get that World of Warcraft was a live service game before Fortnite, but it's the same argument. Live service games existed before Fortnite. After Fortnite, everybody made a live service game. Roguelike games existed before Hades. After Hades, everybody made a roguelike motor game. It's the same argument. So if we cut Fortnite, we have to cut Hades. Based on that logic, I am not cutting Fortnite without cutting Hades. Or they both stay. No, but it didn't invent the genre, but 100% everybody was making live service games because of Fortnite. 100%. You cannot tell me that Fortnite was not the influence. Not Battle Royale. I mean, that's just another argument in my favor, to be honest. I don't know if I'd agree with that, Squid. I think games have had transactions for a while. But, I mean, it did popularize the Battle Pass, which factors into the Battle Royale argument. I think that if we cut Fortnite, Hades has to go, or we keep both. And I'm leaning towards, for now, keeping both. Oh, for sure. I agree. Horrible for the consumer. I hate Fortnite. I want you guys to keep in mind, I don't play Fortnite. I played it once on my Switch 1 and it was terrible. But, like, I can't just sit here and be like, I'm going to cut Fortnite. I can't. Fortnite is the modern game on this, like, the most modern game that's going to be on this list. I know you're mad at me for cutting Mist. Defend Mist. Defend Mist. What has Mist done for the industry? Defend Mist. You're pointing guns at me. I'm pointing guns at you. Defend it. I'm gonna need more water, bro. This is getting intense. I am fucking sweating right now. Oh, we're not even at 30. We're not even at 30. You can be honest. You can be completely honest, Ocean Slayer. All right, I actually need to go grab more water. I'm really thirsty. I'll be back in just a minute. You haven't played Mist, bro? We're cutting it. We're cutting it. Are you... Going once for cutting Mist. State your objections now. Going twice for cutting Mist. Final objections. Just because of that, Ocean Slayer, I'm cutting Mist. But also because it doesn't belong on this list. Alright, Mist is gone. Bro, you fucking played me for a fiddle. Cannot believe you did that. That's actually really fun. That's actually hysterical. I can't be mad. That's just funny. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes. I need to go grab water and go to the bathroom. Riddles Mug, that's your argument? Okay. Feel free while I'm gone for a few minutes in chat. Put other ones that should be eliminated. I'm going to leave this up so you all can see it. Put out your other ideas. Back in a second. cupcake. It's not a lie. Okay, let's see. Let me catch up on chat here. GTA 3 has to be there to inspire the driver Saints Row game. Okay, yeah, GTA was one that was probably gonna stay here. Chocolate Christ, downstairs, nice. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about Donkey Kong. So I had defended, because we cut NES Mario Brothers last time, defended to keep that, but here's the thing. We have too many arcade games here. We have too many arcade games here. I don't think it makes sense to have all three of these. Oh, true. Good comment about the early access, Netta, with the Hades. Yep. Let's think about this. Space Invaders helped influence the shmup genre, but then again, it's a niche genre. Wait, what are... Oh, Street Fighter 2? Oh, that's an interesting perspective, Neto. I'm trying to catch up on your chest. I think more roguelikes have always been around, so instead of Hades like popularizing it, right? Yeah. Actually agree. Roguelikes before. I just think more companies put their foot in the roguelikes water after. Right. So Neto, you're saying Okay. Let's do one thing at a time. I want to revisit your chats later. Okay. So you're saying the big arcade game is Street Fighter 2. Fair. I think we get rid of Space Invaders for sure. Going once for cutting Space Invaders. Throughout any arguments otherwise. Going twice for Space Invaders. Last chance. Great. So here's the thing, right? Oh, look at that. Love that. Yeah, so we have Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. You have no argument either way. Okay. And Neto, it sounds like it's the same way. I'm just like... It's tough because... I don't know. It's really tough for me. Right, is arguably an argument for cutting them. Right. The only... So I kept Donkey Kong because of the fact that Donkey Kong led into Mario. Like 2D platforming, arguably the first breakout thing. But I know DK's... Neto, I know DK's not on your list because I know that's cheating. I'm just like... It's tough. Because it's like... We made the same distinction between 2D and 3D fighters, though. You know, we decided that's not a distinction, so let's cut 3D fighters with Tekken. So I'm like, do we do the same thing for platformers? And cut Donkey? I don't know. But I also think... Do we cut Pac-Man? I think we cut Pac-Man. That's true, Ocean Slayer. That's a good point. You think DK's the same argument as Streets of Rage? I disagree because Mario Wonder exists. You're saying 2D platformers aren't a thing anymore? Because I don't know if I agree with that, Neto. Oh, so sorry. Let me clarify, Ocean Slayer. Because we actually had this debate. Where I personally think that Donkey Kong is a Donkey Kong game, not a Mario game. So it's not about the fact that Mario's in it. It's the fact that it literally birthed. But no, then again, that is your point. Interesting. For sure we cut Pac-Man though, right? I would actually say 2D platformers are more popular than beat-em-ups. I would also say that 2D platformers do more to change up the formula than beat-em-ups have. I actually wouldn't argue that. I mean, Braid is an example that we cut last stream. I mean, we didn't even add Mega Man to the list. It's just not... I feel like Mega Man didn't really do anything that notable. Go for it, though, Neto. Go for it. Alright. I'm gonna cut Pac-Man, though. I'm gonna cut Pac-Man. I'm there. Going once for cutting Pac-Man. List your objections. I mean, I guess I had the mascot, though. That's what Extreme was arguing last time. Oh, now I don't know. Now I don't know. Fuck. Now I don't know. Because Pac-Man was one of the first instances of having, like, a big mascot character. But then again, first isn't always the best, so... That's true. Mega Man is the most influential video game property for streams. Arguably. Alright, no. I think... Fuck. Sucks, dude. This sucks. Oh, she's good right now. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to keep you too long. Sorry about that. I mean, I appreciate you being here for as long as you have, Ocean Slayer. Alright. Definitely cutting Pac-Man. Any objections? Sounds like from you two, none. I'm cutting Pac-Man. If no objections. All right. Donkey Kong, I'm just holding on to it for some reason. But then again, Neto. Here's the thing. Okay. If we take a look at the industry as a whole, how prevalent are platformers as a whole? We have Mario 64. You could argue Castlevania. I mean, hell, right now we still have Portal, technically. That's too many to have to represent platformers. Maybe we do gut DK. I think we do. Fuck. No, I think we cut it. I think we cut it. You say cut Portal? Alright, fine, let me... Donkey Kong's gonna be like the last game I cut then. Let's go back to this. Okay. Let's have the Valve discussion. Honestly, let's throw all three in here. We have Half-Life, we have Portal, we have TF2. Get out of here with your card. Do any of these games belong? What did Portal do? Portal had a co-op mode. Did that influence other games to have co-op modes? I don't know. I think there were more at the time. I don't know. Tetris is there, yep. Are you going to say cut Tetris? I'm not ready for that yet. Popularized puzzle games? Alright. What I will say is I think we have to cut Half-Life. There are too many shooters on this list already. Because of puzzle. I get that it's a different puzzle, but it's the same argument as Myst, I think. Tetris is huge not just because of the puzzle element, though, because here's the thing, puzzle games are niche. It's huge for the casual element. Sure, Wii Sports is also there, but it's two sides of the casual coin. I don't even know, whatever you consider Wii Sports genres, not sports games, but like easy games to pick up. Wii Sports and the classic puzzle game, whether it's Bejeweled, Candy Crush, or Tetris. No, I think Half-Life we have to get rid of. Ocean Slayer was arguing earlier. I'm going to cut Half-Life. I know X Freeman was arguing because of narrative. Halo is narrative. I'm going to cut Half-Life. Going once. Going twice. Boom. Alright, I think we're at 30 right now, actually. Right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 24. We're at 30. We have 10 more left. We're almost there. We're almost there. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go this, and then I'm going to do... Okay. Fortnite's the only true game. Fuck. You gotta cut 10 more of these, everybody. Gotta cut 10 more. Alright. I think we can agree the top 6 are locks. I forgot we had Resident Evil 4 as a shooter as well. I also honestly think the next row might be locks. I think the top 6 are locked for sure. The next 6, I'm debating about top 6 locks. Okay. I know, the 2 cuts, I know what the 2 cuts are for you. They're Metal Gear Solid and Castlevania. Castlevania's not going. Metal Gear Solid, the reason why I'm keeping it there... So here's the thing, stealth games, I mean, a lot of games have stealth sequences in them. A lot of games have forced stealth, which I do give credit to Metal Gear Solid for. The other thing is in terms of, not really the storytelling, but cutscenes. Is it safe to say Metal Gear Solid is potentially what created, like, caused games to have a lot of cutscenes in? Because we didn't really have cutscenes. We kind of did. But, like, this game was, like, next level, like, pretty much having a film shot in a game. And that's a standard for all 3D games now. That's why I'm justifying Metal Gear Solid right now almost as a lock. Anyways, feel free to stew on that. That's fair. This is gonna be brutal. It probably doesn't make sense to have both Fortnite and Team Fortress 2 on this list. So I think I gotta gut Team Fortress 2. Oh, we did? Oh, interesting. Going twice for Team... just skip this step. Going once for Team Fortress 2. I'm gonna cut it. No objections. Going twice for Team Fortress 2. Got it. Honestly, okay, at the same time, should Mario Kart be here? Going once for cutting Mario Kart. Going twice for Mario Kart. Well, but that's the thing, is there's a lot of Mario Kart clones, but even if they're just the fact that they exist is justifying it. Here's the thing. Yes, but yeah, there are Mario Kart clones, but Mario Kart is just an entity almost. It's almost like the genre is Mario Kart. You have like Crash Nitro Kart, you have the Sonic racing games, sure. They didn't add anything. Right. Mario Kart was the one that had it. That's straight up clones. Good point. Good point. Yeah, I think we cut Mario Kart. Sounds like all of you are in favor. We're cutting it. All right. Down to 28. We're so close, guys. We're so close. This is actually exciting. This is actually exciting. I like this. How prevalent are racing games? How prevalent? Are they niche? Is Forza niche? Is Need for Speed niche? There are games where you have racing elements, but do we cut Need for Speed? They're prominent? Okay, okay. Then I'll leave it. Does it make sense? All right, let me pose another question. Does it make sense to have both Minecraft and Stardew Valley on this list? I guess maybe because Stardew Valley is like cozy farm and Minecraft is crafting. I guess. Okay. Okay. You would cut Stardew? I mean, it's tough though, because so many indie companies are making cozy farm games because of Stardew Valley. Like, Stardew Valley is the model, you know? It's the same thing with everybody making live service games after Fortnite. I will die on that hill. It's the same thing if everybody making roguelike games or modes after Hades. It's the same thing. It's a trend. And to be honest, this list is pretty much trends the game. What are the trendsetters? And I think Stardew Valley might be it. And again, being the inspiration for the solo indie dev, I'm really hesitant to cut Stardew Valley. Yeah, by that logic, we would have to cut all three, which I don't feel comfortable doing. How many of those are successful? Surprisingly, a decent amount. They all find their audiences. Sure, there are some that are throwaway slot garbage, but there are successful ones. Like, the cozy farm genre is a thing for a reason. It's why we see so many of them. So I would argue it should say. Alright, I'm gonna poke a bear. Someone argue, poke a, what do they call it? The little green diamond. Should The Sims be cut? Are life sim games big? I mean, I guess simulation games can be. That's another question, Ocean Slayer. I think Netta was explaining that handheld gaming wouldn't exist if not for Pokemon. Because the Game Boy was on its last legs. Nintendo released Pokemon, it exploded, and then we got other ones. Which I get, but also it's not like its gameplay is a lock. It's just the fact that it saved the Game Boy in handheld gaming. Which... Oh, and a sim life game. Oh. Think how many simulators inspired? That's true, but what... I mean... I don't know which ones it did, to be honest. Even if it inspired sim lives... Or, sorry, life sims. Life sims... I would say are a niche genre. I could be wrong. I don't fully know. You're fine with cutting Sims? I think we cut Sims. There's lots of Sim games for sure. Lots of the Sims games. There's what, the 2-point games. I wouldn't argue that The Sims inspired a ton of other simulator games, because there's like Microsoft Flight Simulator, and there's Power Wash Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator. Those would exist without The Sims. Cutting Sims when they started makes no sense. No, I'm cutting Sims because of Stardew. If your argument is that Stardew has the life sim elements, That makes The Sims redundant. Because here's the thing. The main reason for us leaving Stardew is not the simulator element. It's not at all that. It's the solo indie dev and the cozy farm genre. That is why Stardew stays. Those two pretty big reasons. And we're not arguing over which game came first. Going once for cutting The Sims. That does not... No. That doesn't make Stardew irrelevant. Stardew's main gameplay isn't the simulator. I would argue Stardew's main gameplay is not the life sim element. In terms of life sims as in the growing up, getting married. Stardew's main element is the farming. Which could be... I consider those separate. I don't know how Minecraft started, to be honest. Was it Notch? Sole developer? Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We still have Minecraft here. We're not cutting Minecraft. But The Sims should be cut. We're not arguing Minecraft right now. We're arguing The Sims. As solo dev, okay, that's fine. We can have that debate soon. The Sims should not be here. Yeah. Stardew Valley was just literally only one person ever. And now Minecraft, Mojang has supported Minecraft forever. Which, listen, Minecraft's technically a live service game. We can talk about that too. Anyways, The Sims are getting cut. Going once. The Sims are getting cut. Going twice for The Sims. Final objections. I'm cutting The Sims. Boom. All right. You're saying Minecraft invalidates Stardew. Here's the thing. Minecraft is not a solo dev game. It may have started that way, but because it's a live service game, it is not a solo dev game. Stardew Valley will forever be a solo dev game. And also, the cozy sim genre is very prevalent right now. And not just for hardcore gamers. It also applies to the casual audience, which we do have casual games for. But so many developers are making it because so many people want it. It's gonna take a lot to take Stardew off this list. Instead, what I would like to talk about is Civ 7. Or sorry, not 7. Civilization. Oh, really? Oh, that's good to know. Okay. I take that back. I take that part back. I'm sorry. I thought it was only Concerned Dave that worked on it. I take that part back. To be honest, I think we could end up with both Minecraft and Stardew on this list, to be honest. Okay, good to know. Let's talk Civilization. I don't think those games are that... Like, if we're talking about the most popular games... You think it has all elements from all the games in it. True, but like we said, you know, it doesn't have to be the first instance of elements of games. You know, it's not the first cozy sim, cozy farming sim. It's probably the most popular ever made. To the point where, like Hades, like Fortnite, other companies are trying to copy it. You know, Ocean Slayer, go eat! I mean, listen, we're so close. We literally have 7 left. I'm gonna wave the conversation away from Stardew, and we're gonna talk about Civilization. Does anyone have any arguments for Civilization being here? Like, what other games? I know there's like Age of Empires, and I don't even know which one came first. Your game's already got cut. Listen, I don't want to be keeping you here because you're not eating. You know what I mean? Although if I keep you here and you're not eating, that means you're gonna get angrier, which is fun. Yeah, but then again, Neto, this list isn't. The point of this list isn't to cover all genres or all elements. I know it has elements of other games, but here's the thing. There's a bunch of different types of casual games. If we were only talking Wii Sports casual games, I would cut Tetris right now. But because casual games are so broad, I don't think that can be used against Stardew. Yeah, make your own list, man. Make your own list. Fight me. Come on, let's do it. Do it. Every game is just East. All 20 slots. And Mist on there. Why not? Throw Mist on there. Does anybody have any arguments for Civ? Otherwise, I'm cutting it. Cut Civ. Alright. Nice, Ocean Slayer. Going once. Any objections to Civ? Going twice for cutting Civ. Last chance. Boom. Alright. Let's talk Call of Duty. So here's the thing. Hello. There we go. Sorry for that. Mic disconnected. Let's talk about Call of Duty. We have Doom. We have Halo. Arguably Resident Evil right there. We have Fortnite for now. You say cut COD. We have a bunch of COD games. Battlefield, Medal of Honor. Those all came before, I'm pretty sure. Or a lot of those did. I'm just like... Because why do people say this is super inspirational? Is it because of the multiplayer? Because if so, we have Halo. That's why I'm like, why do we have COD? Because we literally have Halo right there. Does anyone have any arguments to keep COD here? Because otherwise I think I got it. Alright. Going once for Call of Duty. Say your objections now. I'm cutting it. Going twice for Call of Duty. The normie game. A casual audience, that's true. It's just, it's... Because we have Halo here, I don't see why we have COD here. You know what I mean? I don't see why we keep COD here, you know? Alright. COD's gone. I think we're down to 25. Let me double check that. Here we are. Okay, we're down to 25. 7. Yeah. Oh, that actually made it. That actually did not help. Never mind. It's lasers. It's a lasers. Oh. Alright, we'll just screw it. Let's look at that. Alright, we need to cut 5 more. Alright, I think it's time for Portal to go. I think it's time for Portal to go. This is it. This is the moment. I know Ocean Slayer was saying puzzle platformers, but once again, I already stated that platformers are not very prevalent. Alone, add puzzle elements to it. Not a very... Like, no one's copying Portal because no one would, first of all, dare. Second of all... I mean, hell, we don't even have a Portal 3. That's Tetris. Tetris is the one right here. This is Tetris. Alright, going once for Portal. State your objections now. Going once for Portal. Going twice for Portal. Portal's gone. Alright. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I literally might have just pulled the one from, like, the Russian one. The Russian version or something. Okay. We're down to 24. That's great. Cut Need for Speed. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think, because, like, I know racing games are prevalent, but, like, how prevalent? And is Need for Speed the one that... Yeah, that does feel out of place. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think you're right. It feels out of place. Alright, going once for Need for Speed. Say your objections now. No more racing games after this. Going twice for Need for Speed. I mean, it is a separate genre of just racing, but I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. A lot of games have racing elements in it. Yeah. Alright, it's gone. 3 more to cut. Can we cut Diablo? Like, I think we can cut Diablo. I personally don't see Diablo being on this list. I don't. How many other isometric action RPGs are here? You could be like, oh, but it's the action RPG. I'm like, listen. Dark Souls is arguably an action RPG. Once again, Neto, we had this discussion. RPG isn't necessarily a game type. It's a game mechanic. You can have RPG elements in a game, similar to roguelikes. We have several games here that arguably have RPG elements. Hell, Castlevania Symphony of the Night technically has RPG elements. And like the isometric view, not many games do it besides ones that are imitating Diablo specifically, which aren't that many. Going once for Diablo. We're near the finish line. Going once for Diablo. Going twice for Diablo. All right. Actually, wait a minute. No, that puts us at 22. Oh, hell yeah. So I think we only need... Let me make sure I'm not missing any edge cases. Nope. We only need to cut 2 more. We only need to cut 2 more games. That is very nice. Neto, do not say Fortnite and Donkey Kong. Do not say it. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Do not say it. Okay. Seems like Ocean Slayer's not in chat, so I think it's literally just us. Symphony of the Night is not going. Symphony of the Night's not going. I'm dying on that hill. I will debate. I will entertain cutting Metal Gear Solid. Let's talk more about this game in depth because we haven't talked enough about this game. So here's the thing. Metal Gear Solid was big for two reasons that I can think of in my mind. One, heavy cinematics in games. Like I said, cutscenes are something that have stuck in 3D games forever, especially since Metal Gear Solid. Two, I would argue a lot of games have, quite frankly, unnecessary stealth segments because of Metal Gear Solid. Those are the two big reasons that come to mind right now. Again, game elements. That's a good point. That's a good point. FF7, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, good point. That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, FF7 did have a lot of cutscenes. That's true. I guess it, honestly, I mean, actually, if anything, it was probably FF7. Because when did the original Metal Gear Solid come out? I know it was after, right? It was like 99, maybe? 98. Okay, so like only like a year after. Because on the Mortal cutscene. True. I think it was just because of the CD-ROM technology at the time allowed for people to do more cutscenes. And to be fair, there were moments of games that were effectively cutscenes, just not in the same degree as Metal Gear Solid did. The only reason why it was a thing was because of the technology, not the game. That's a good point you bring up. The technology of CD-ROMs allowed for cutscenes to exist in the form that FF7 and Metal Gear Solid produced. So the only other argument would be the stealth segments. Stealth games are not a huge genre, and there are moments in... Sure, there are some forced stealth segments in games, but... Yeah, honestly, I think you've convinced me. I think we cut Metal Gear Solid. I think you're right. I think you're right. You've convinced me. Alright. Going once for Metal Gear Solid. Going twice for Metal Gear Solid. There it goes. Alright, we only have to cut in one more. This is it. And then we have our list. Top 6 locks. I'm going to arrange this in what I am considering locks. One of the bottom row ones needs to get cut. Just one of these. And I'm trying to figure out which one it is. Of course, not a lock for you. It is for me. It is for me. This is one of the hills I'm dying on. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do to figure this out, because it's just us two, I think, right now. We're gonna give him pull. We're gonna give him pull. I imagine Shadow the Colossus is a lock for you, right? I am willing to put this in a lock because I am putting the boot down on a few different games here. All right, I'm putting the boot down on Fortnite, Castlevania, and Stardew Valley. So give me 3 from this bottom 6 row. That should be there. That's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna let you do that. What 3 from this bottom row, because I have put my foot down on 3 that we have already. I will give you 3 more that are specifically you think should be locks on that list. I imagine Shadow of the Colossus is one of them, but I want to let you decide because it's only fair. Okay, Shadow of the Colossus, alright. 2 more. Tetris, okay. Skyrim, okay. Cool. Thank you for the contribution. One of these has to go. It's either Hades, DK, or Pokemon. I know you're arguing DK. Actually, I shouldn't even ask you for DK. That was on me. I think I'm willing to let DK go. I think I'm willing to let Donkey Kong go. I think I am. I think I pushed it this fucking far to the very end. I'm willing to let it go. But okay, let's go back a little. Oh, true. Very true. Very true. So we'll keep Hades. I think it's DK. Because here's the thing. Here's my thing. I do genuinely believe Pokemon had less of an impact on game design. I genuinely believe that. Not a lot of games did the creature catching mechanic after that. I believe Digimon already existed as a concept when this came out. Could be wrong. And it's an RPG, which we already have Chrono Trigger covering that, and Skyrim with Western RPG, all that stuff. But you bring up a good argument about the whole handheld gaming thing. Your argument is that a platform of games would not exist without Pokemon, which wouldn't have created certain other genres, right? I mean, some. But let's be real, we have more 2D platformers than monster catching games. Monster catching games are more niche than 2D platformers. I just want to make sure I don't regret letting go of Donkey Kong. I just want to make sure. You have an argument? Okay. Please, by all means. We're just about the end of the stream here, so I'm willing to listen. This is the final important decision. I actually feel, despite all of our arguments, I actually feel really good about this list. Platforms by Mario, by DK, by DuckTales. I mean, I guess that begs the question. Yeah, are Are all 2D platformers inspired by Mario specifically? I mean, Mario established it, but... yeah... Here's another argument in favor of Pokemon. And let me know if this sounds weird. You know that trend of a lot of games that like to have this background lore where you go and open up a menu and you have a log of, like, you know, for example, let's take Fallen Order. I'm streaming through that right now. I find a Force Echo, I scan it, and it gives me a log of information. Could we argue that's inspired by the Pokédex in Pokemon? I know Metroid Prime did the scanning thing to show a log entry. I get that. Can we argue that having that Pokédex detailing every creature you find inspired games to have more lore in the menus when you interact with the environment? Or is that not is that not fair to credit Pokemon with that? Yeah, I mean, the handheld gaming thing is a big deal for sure with Pokemon, I agree. Think it's not the same? Okay, that's fair. Alright, you know what? Here's the ultimate thing. In the event of being fair, in honoring all votes in this poll, I will concede and I will remove Donkey Kong in favor of Pokemon. Oh, do some of the older games have it too? I mean, I just think the Pokédex is super organized, so I was trying to give more credit to Pokemon. Alright. This is it. I'm willing to concede Donkey Kong. I'm willing to do it. In the honor of being completely fair. Going wide. Going once. This is it. This is your last chance. This is the last game we have to cut. Big games have it because of Pokemon. Yeah. Exactly. Going once for Donkey Kong. Final game. Object if you think otherwise. You made it so far, my friend. Adieu. Going twice for Donkey Kong. Last final chance. Otherwise, this is it. It's gone. That's the list. Oh my god, Ocean Slayer. Showing up the last second when the list is complete. It is done. The list has been finalized. Guys, I know we debated a lot. That's the fun part. That's the fun part. I think this is a pretty good list. I think we did a very good job. I'm going to take a picture of this because this is... Now, you know I'm going to screenshot it first of all and then put it in the Discord and then I can save it from there. I think we did a great job. I'm proud of everybody here who participated in this. Like, I think we covered a lot of aspects here. I think we really did. You can download it. Oh, you can. Oh, nice and easy. Thank you, Neto. Perfect. All right. This is such good music to come to. We have the community voted 20 most influential video games of all time. We have Zelda Breath of the Wild. We have Super Mario 64. We have Street Fighter 2. We have, apparently it's called 4 Resident Evil 4. Dark Souls. We have World of Warcraft. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Doom. Halo Combat Evolved. Grand Theft Auto 3. Fortnite. Say that. Chrono Trigger. Minecraft. Stardew Valley. Wii Sports. Shadow of the Colossus. Tetris. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Hades. Pokemon Red and Blue. This is it. We did it. Everybody, give yourselves a pat on the back. Give yourselves a pat on the back for some bloodthirsty debates. We're all probably pissed off so much at each other. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is all just video games. It's all just gaming. Anyways, I don't know. I had fun. Neto, shout out to you and Rival Seeker for coming up with this idea for a stream. I gotta give credit to you both. This was very fun. A lot of brutal discussion, but you know what? I think it was fun. I think it was healthy discussion. And at the end, I think we came up with a pretty damn good list. Genuinely, I think this is a very good list. Give me the grandfather game. See, yes. That's the thing, is we can't necessarily do that. Oh, sure, I'll open yours. I know Fortnite's not on there, that's for sure. God, I'm so glad I got Fortnite in, bro. I can't believe I had to argue that so hard. I'm genuinely shocked, guys. It's too late. It's there. All right. See how you cheated. All right. Let's see. All right. Can I do side by side? Let's do that. All right, here we go. Here's the side by side. So we got so you have the NES Mario Brothers. Yep, you had Ocarina of Time. Yep. Very fair. Oh yeah, Neto, that's the newer Tetris logo. Halo. We did have a good amount of overlap though. That's good. That's good. Skyrim, Doom. You had The Sims. Okay. Minecraft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. 15. Okay, so you had The Sims on there. I mean, honestly, the only other. I mean, Neto, our lists are almost identical. It's just I have Stardew Valley, Fortnite, and Castlevania on there. And because you did 2 Mario, 2 Zelda, and then you had The Sims. Our lists are pretty similar, which is actually kind of cool. And then here we go, enter the same series rule. Oh, I see. They enter the same series rule if it's up. Okay. The bottom row's honorable mentions. So you had Fortnite in your honorable mentions. Okay. Cool. I like that. Our lists were almost identical in that regard. So that actually worked out very well. I'm happy with this list. That's got to be a good sign. That means we did something right. Okay. It's good to see the Fortnite's in your honorable mentions at least. FF7, TF2, Portal, League of Legends, Walking Dead. Yeah. Nice. I feel very good about this list. That's fair. That's fair. They do have the online and the live service elements, you know? I just think it's honestly like, for me, it's kind of similar to Doom and Halo. Doom is the classic boomer shooter FPS. Halo is the more modern one. And I get that World of Warcraft isn't that old, but it's still like the legacy MMO live service game. Fortnite is the modern live service game that recent trends companies have wanted to copy. That's why I would not let Fortnite die, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm just like, so many people have been inspired by Fortnite. I'm like, I had to be included there. So I feel good. I feel good about this list. I really do. And we both have very similar lists. I feel very good about that. So thank you for sharing, Neto. And thank you all, I'm talking to all you, for participating. Or even if you didn't, if you just like listened to us ramble on, I really appreciate it. However you watch these. This is our list. I feel very good about this. I do want to give an extra shout out to everybody who participated in these debates. Shout out to Neto for being here literally the entire time for these debates. I'm glad the timing worked out for you today. Shout out to X Freeman. Shout out to you for being part of these debates as well. And Ocean Slayer for jumping in here at the end. That was fun to get a new perspective. Shareholders on people. Well, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The games have been made, and that's what we're focusing on with this list, you know? No, this is not a consumer-friendly list. And yeah, shareholders are not people, you're right. They're sharks. They're killers. There's ghouls. They're gimme ghouls. Yeah, but it really comes down to what the industry is producing. And unfortunately, what the industry is producing, especially when it comes to big companies, are what the shareholders want. Unfortunately. That's kind of the trend that the industry is following, which is not great. Trust me. It's depressing. The shareholders are part of the industry, and they're influencing, they are very much influencing the games that get made. It sucks. And that's why we got to support the ones that make creative new things. Yeah, exactly. With Neto, 100% agreed. But shout out again to Neto, X Freeman, Ocean Slayer, Squid for popping in earlier, Neil the BC fan. Extra special shout out to every single one of you for participating. Even if you didn't, though, I'm sure it was stressful watching on the sidelines or entertaining. Hopefully it was entertaining. I had fun. I had to get a little passionate about arguments with some of these games. I've never been more passionate about Fortnite in my life, but you know what? I had to get it on there. Yeah, that's going to do it for this series. So again, thank you to Neto and X Freeman for the suggestion, and to all of you who participated. Even if you didn't participate, if you just watched live. Really appreciate it. We'll have to do more of these in the future, or like similar. I think we need a cooldown period, but I think doing more like lists like this could be fun as like a community event, you know? So maybe not one as daunting as this, so this one was a little tough. If we could just do one in one stream, I think that'd be fun. Either way, that's actually going to be it for me for live streams for the next couple weeks or so. I'm actually going to be out of town starting on Friday. So I probably won't be streaming anything until Tuesday, the 12th of May. So it's going to be a bit for me. I do have videos scheduled to go out during that time I'm away. Tune in to Friday's channel update for more details there. And when I'm back, I should be back with more Jedi Fallen Order and then starting Mega Man 8. So with that, that's going to do it for tonight's live stream. Again, special shout out to everybody who participated. Even if you didn't, thanks for watching and interacting. You actually already have an idea for the next one. Well, don't spoil it now, Neto. Post it in the Discord. I want to hear your thoughts. With that, though, thank you again. Thank you all. Really, seriously, really fun. I'm so glad we even have this small community here just to have these debates. Like, this is fun. I really like debating with all of you and interacting like this. It's just really fun. I think it's cool to have this, you know? Never thought gaming would ever be this social for me, so I always appreciate it. But thank you again. I will catch you on the next video live stream. And hope you guys have a great couple weeks. Like I said, videos will be coming out regularly scheduled out every few days or so. I'll see you later, everybody. Thank you again. Neto, Ocean Slayer, X Freeman, everybody else who participated, everybody else who watched. Thank you. Song's epic as hell. Yeah. Sounds good, Neto. Thank you again, guys. I will see you all later. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here.